Continuing here, more GoPro wonders. So the whole idea is that we have all these out there. We have great tools. We've taken a lot of these vintage games, and I give you a whole hour generally, or at least a long description on how you can use these in fun, higher ways past the regular tool uses, which basically are just Parapsychology Institute tools that they offered to the public because everybody was interested in it. So, to think that these are some sort of toys for kiddies is a typical misunderstanding if that's how you approach things. So we have all of these online. Make sure you go and check this out. There are links below that actually allow you to access these pages. And we may even have some of these classics there. We're always looking for things like this. These are very difficult to get. This in particular is extremely rare. So here's the spoon again, and that, of course, just for everybody to see the process, that just inserts into the holder here. I mean, how cool is this? And again, this just is the weight aspect of it. So it's just as simple as that. Let me bring the box up here again. We'll put this up on my other radionic machines as we close out this demonstration. But here's the cool box again. As I said, this is in French. There are ones in English that occasionally pop up in England. Good luck. And of course, you see them occasionally coming from Germany. It's rare that you see anything coming from France and England in general, but this is the kind of stuff that was commonly out there. And it's amazing at that particular period of time, even though this is kind of late in his popularity, but it just shows you how big Uri Geller was in Europe and France, Germany, and England, and where he is still very popular. He lives in England, by the way. Has a mansion there, and that's where he has the most following. And Uri Geller has been proven to be extremely powerful psychic and able to do all sorts of things. He's joined the Magician Club for some reason, because that's where the easy money is. And of course, the parapsychologists, the little weasels they are, don't support anybody. So when people were attacking him, the parapsychologists sat in their own proverbial poo and did nothing. So the point is that he, like everybody else, and that includes anybody who has healing abilities, psychic powers, or can do any kind of practical good stuff to help people, you should be charging for it. You have a right to make money with an important skill. Do not give it away free. That doesn't mean to overcharge or not help those in need that may not have money. But you shouldn't be doing anything for free. You have a value, and your value. Everybody else charges for everything, including these criminal doctors that make millions and won't even help people out at all. I was turned down by doctors who didn't like my insurance, not that I didn't have it. Other things, they refuse you service because you don't have insurance. Oh, well, we can't follow up with blood tests and anything else. Otherwise known as jog on. Who cares about you? This is the kind of stuff that goes on there. Well, and of course, alternative healers tend to be just as bad. Chiropractors, acupuncturists, and other healers tend to overcharge for their services, which generally have to be repeated many times, and again, are just as greedy and sometimes even more than those criminal doctors. But you should charge for your services. You should have a sliding scale if there's people that need help, and do things for fair, reasonable prices, because alternative healing in particular is something that should be done all the time. And so should be psychic readings, tarot card. It's not something you do once a year. I mean, you should have clients coming to you anytime they have a problem, or at least once a month. So you should make things affordable, but giving things free, the only thing that's free in life is garbage. And when you give people things for free, you are labeled as being garbage. It's as simple as that. So charge fair prices, but do charge. So Uri Geller has made money, and if he's done some illusionist type things, you make hundreds of millions of dollars. That's right, illusionist, Penn and Teller, and these other people are worth, Penn and Teller are worth $150 million each per interweb. So the whole idea is that these people make a fortune, as most of these illusionists do. They make a very nice income lying to you, because a lot of them tell you they are psychics. Who wants to go to a trickster? I'm going to trick you. I'm a fake psychic. Nobody wants to go to those people, obviously. So they play this game, and there's a lot of illusionists that are famous for playing these kind of nonsense games, and they get it. So if Uri Geller wants to do a couple of magic tricks and make some money, more power to him. As long as, like everything in life, is that what you're doing is generally legitimate if you're going to call yourself a psychic. And he's been tested by the finest scientists in the world under very strict conditions. Many of them, he's been photographed and tested for hours and hours and has come through with flying colors. So don't believe any of that nonsense and those weak-kneed parrots. I don't know. Maybe he's a trickster. I mean, this is the nonsense when people should know better. And that's coming from parapsychologists who refuse to back up their own people. They're too busy kissing the bottoms of the theoretical physicists because they come from little schools. And of course, I'm a parapsychologist. It says right here on the little certificate I have. So this is the kind of nonsense you get in the field. So as usual, only good stuff comes from IGOS. Your only good guidance comes from IGOS, and you're wasting your time going anywhere else. So here's a fantastic, classic, vintage tool. You're probably never going to see this anywhere else. You're not going to have any kind of other photographs than this. We've given you a really nice view. You've seen everything here for those aficionados that want to see everything out there. Here it is. As he said, follow our links. Make sure that you like this, you subscribe, and follow our links over to our page of training tools. You'll see all the fun things that we offer, and you should know what's out there. And as he said, you can probably find lots of things you can use that are normal products that you can use more in a serious psychic fashion. They are really endless. But having a kit with different variations is essential. So here's a classic from the good old days. Shows you the kind of mentality that was out there for a certain period of time and how people were into things, particularly outside the United States. Now you got to remember what happened with the United States in particular is that after the 70s, well, the 70s and the middle 70s, my generation that graduated college, revolted against the hippy dippies and generally produced a bunch of little freaks, particularly the women who all wanted to have babies on their own at 35 and 40. So-called free love and everything else. Well, I don't know where all that was. Well, it certainly was gone in the 70s. And it's as simple as that. That was not there, and this was not found. Now, once the right-wing religious nut jobs were purchased by the Republican Party, brought in by the non-religious Ronnie Reagan, all this stuff was labeled as demon. Psychic is a word that is considered evil. That's how bad it is with it. So if it doesn't come out of the bottom of God, it certainly has no value compared to it. You know, that kind of thinking. And if you really believe in God, doesn't everything come from God? Why wouldn't God empower you psychically to be a better person and go against evil? Why wouldn't it? So it doesn't even make any sense. So here's a great tool. Follow the links, like and subscribe, and as we're going to be off showing all, he's had several of these. Matchbox made a kind of little line. I believe there's 3 or 4, and they're all cool. So watch for the upcoming Uri Geller vintage psychic training tools in the near future. Until next time.